This one is QuickBooks Desktop remote access, which is good enough. You can practice QuickBooks Desktop if you like. How to issue an invoice, enter transactions, record transactions, look at financial reporting. You cannot print it, but again, you can at least do all those things remotely. So the QuickBooks Desktop is on PCC computer, and remotely you can have access to it. And here is using AppStream. So using AppStream, you will have access to QuickBooks Desktop remotely. Later on, I can also show you if you ask me. So here are just some kind of links that explains how to do it. Okay, so if you go to AppStream here, that's free software for your class. Doesn't matter what software you want, because we have different courses. So you go down a little bit. Here says business. Okay, we want that. We want QuickBooks Payroll Enhanced, that one. And so launch software. You see here says redeem code. That's where you go. You see on the left side, you click redeem code. You redeem the code number 1. After you have access to GMetrix, then you click redeem code again, and then you paste your redeem code number, passcode over there too. Got it? So here I have access as a kind of student. I have access to QuickBooks Online, which you can watch this training and test. This is QuickBooks Desktop, and this is resume test. So this is the test that I was kind of practicing, I believe. And here is the courses, click courses, and here is the learn key. So here is QuickBooks Certified User Online. That's the learn key. Again, we're not gonna take the certification for online. Our focus is certification for desktop. Got it? That's where the focus for this course is. We don't have enough time to get both certifications, but we have time for do desktop. Desktop is a little bit harder, obviously, and it is also important in a business. If you want to start working somewhere, they might have QuickBooks Desktop or online. For online, you're going to do a project, so you're good on that. For desktop, we're going to do certification. So here, click if you click learn key here, you see this is where you kind of have access to training videos and everything. So you go to domain 1, click here, and it will expand, and you have pre-assessment for domain 1. You take that quiz, maybe 10 questions or something like that, and to see how much you know for domain 1. How much do you know? And then that's why if you watch the domain 1 training video in Canvas, and then you take the setup pre-assessment test in here, it might help you a lot because you already watched the training videos. Make sense? And then lesson 1, you expand it in here, and this is the training for lesson 1. But today, because I'm covering a lot of things, we don't have time. But next time, I will try to go over those videos with you. So you watch these videos. That's the student workbook that you can print it if you like, or save it if you like. There are some more blank spot that you need to fill it up to just show that you got the idea of whatever it was in the training video. And lesson number 2 in the domain 1, again, if you expand it, you have training videos, right? Now, so in domain 1, you have lesson number 1 and lesson number 2. And that's the workbook. For lesson 1, that's the workbook, student workbook for lesson number 2. Now, after you watch those training videos, you want to go to exercise lab and practice. And it tells you, do this, do that, and see if you can remember whatever you learned in the training videos to do it in that practice lab. Is literally QuickBooks Desktop, but as a form of, limited version of it. So you do a little bit practice lab in here to see how you are doing, what was your mistake, what was good. And after you do all this, you go to domain 1 and you take your post-assessment test. At that point, you should be really good, right? Because you watch all those training videos, you went through exercise lab, and that's it, right? And you continue the same thing on a weekly basis for domain 2, for domain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So QuickBooks Desktop is more comprehensive compared to QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Online is just 5 domain, I believe. So it's a little bit shorter, kind of easier, I believe. But QuickBooks Desktop is more comprehensive, obviously. And QuickBooks Desktop is more capable. One thing that you need to know in regards to inventory, QuickBooks Desktop inventory counting is based on weighted average, moving average. So inventory cost is based on moving average. So if you are selling something in QuickBooks Desktop, you are doing your accounting based on average cost. But in QuickBooks Online, it does first in, first out for inventory costing. First in, first out. That means if you bought something for $10 and then second time you bought the same t-shirt for $11 and the third time you bought it for $12, so now you have 3 different costs. So if in QuickBooks Online, if you are selling one t-shirt, it will be the first t-shirt, first in, first out. That costs you $10. That will be your cost of goods sold. In QuickBooks Desktop, it is average. So if in QuickBooks Desktop, if you sell one t-shirt, it will be average of those 3 t-shirt costs that you purchased, $11, $10, $12. Combined, 10 plus 11 plus 12, that's 33, divide by 3, average cost ends up to be $11. And if you want to use anything besides average or FIFO in any of those softwares, you have to have additional app, buy additional app to change the inventory counting system. Okay, we talked a lot about this today. So this is the GMetrix, how you will end up to have access to GMetrix. You click this, you go back, you say leave the course, you go back to GMetrix, and if you want to practice test, click here, say new test, save test, completed test. So you can click test here, save test, let's say, and here says this is one of your save tests that you did before. You want a new test, click a new test, and you go to new test and click here and says, okay, what type of test you want? And you want to practice QuickBooks Desktop. Where is it? The QuickBooks Certified Desktop, that one. Okay, we have different options, but provided to you anyway, but this is where your focus is. And also here says books, and welcome to the book page. If you have access code, enter it here. So I don't have a book page. We don't have access to book page. We don't want book page. All we want is just practice test, and also go to courses and go to Learn Key and watch the training video, do the practice lab, pre-assessment, post-assessment, and that's all we want. We want to get ready physically, mentally, by knowledge of watching training videos and practicing ourselves. Make sense? Any questions? Okay, then you know what to do. I went over a lot of things today, so get this to work and go forward. If you have any questions, see me on my office hours. See you next week. Bye-bye.